Hi everyone. Okay, so in a few weeks' time, July 11th, I think it is, we are finally going to get James Gunn's new take on Superman. Superman is going to be starring David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan. Now, I have my IMAX ticket booked for July the 12th. I'm quite looking forward to seeing it. However, the purpose of this video is I just want to ask, what kind of Superman fan are you? Because when I think about it, actually, I'm not sure that I'm a really great fan in terms of all the history. So what I mean by that is Superman itself started back in 1938, introduced to the public by Action Comics. It was then a radio serial that was done, voiced by Bud Collyer. And then in 1941, we got a series of 17 cartoons by Max and Dave Fleischer. Following that, we then get a TV serial starring Kirk Allen, and then from 1951 to 1957, a famous serial as well starring George Reeves as Superman. Now, none of that is meaningful to me, to be honest, because I was born at the end of the 60s, and so my introduction really was comics that I was reading in my early young age. And so, as I recall, yes, I was reading some Superman comics, but I think I was concentrating a little bit more on Spider-Man comics maybe, and the Fantastic Four. It wasn't a regular event that I could buy comics. We just couldn't afford to buy them all the time. So it was only occasional comics for me that I would read. But yeah, so I did read Superman comics, but I must admit a lot of those don't stick in my mind. It really was perhaps Spider-Man more and the Fantastic Four, and then as I got a little bit older, it was all the sort of 2000 AD comics as well, so I moved completely away from that, and it was all Judge Dredd and all of those kinds of things. So really for me, my way into Superman was, of course, when Christopher Reeve became Superman in 1978. Again, I was too young to see Superman the movie at the cinema, or rather we couldn't afford to go as a family, but I did go with my dad in 1980 to go and see Superman 2. Super memorable experience for me seeing that. I absolutely loved it. Great experience going to a cinema with your dad. It doesn't happen all that often in life, so yeah, really appreciated that. And absolutely Christopher Reeve as Superman, he's my Superman. And Margot Kidder as Lois Lane as well. I absolutely love Margot Kidder, the strength of her performance, and she is just fantastic. And I think it really is those two that have really just stuck in my mind so much, so that when I do think about Superman, if I admit it, I'm really thinking about Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. And I suppose in every iteration of Superman that's happened since then, I'm kind of looking for that feeling of what I get when I see Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder performing the roles. So yeah, that's a tough one, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that, but yeah, let me know. So of course, yes, carried on watching the Christopher Reeve movies, Superman 3, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, and then of course we got other things that happened after the Christopher Reeve movies. There was Supergirl as well with Helen Slater. I didn't go and see that at the cinema. I did see it many years later. And then on TV we've had all of these various series and animated series that have been going on. So yes, I did watch Lois and Clark with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Again, that was a fun one to watch at home. When Smallville came out, I think I must have been busy doing other things in life, because I did not see any of Smallville whatsoever. I've recently picked up some of the series on DVD, so I will try and catch up with it. But yeah, that one is completely it passed me by, so I have no familiarity with Smallville whatsoever, and I think there's probably been other series as well, and I completely missed those. So yeah, I am not a huge Superman fan in that respect, I suppose, because I've just missed them all. And then also, like I say, there's been these animated series, and it seemed to be the same animation team that did the animated Batman series. And I did watch a film version just recently of a film of the first 3 episodes, I think it was, and I must admit the animation style of that didn't really catch me at all, so I wasn't a huge fan of that. I'm not really too interested in watching the rest of that animated series. I have, however, just recently caught up with watching those original 1941 to 1943 Max Fleischer cartoons, and I do love those. 17 of those, each one is only about 9 minutes long, and they're just so concise, and they just get straight into a little bit of an action story. Definitely the series degrades as it goes on, but the first few episodes are absolutely wonderful. There's one called The Mechanical Monsters, another one called $1 Billion Limited, which is a really fun one about some guys trying to rob a speeding train of its money. But yeah, really fun one. That Arctic Giant as well is a really fun episode that involves a dinosaur, a T-Rex, being brought back from the Arctic and then thawing out and causing havoc. Yeah, these are all just really, really great fun animations from Max and Dave Fleischer. I really like the animation style, and like I say, they're just so quick. They're over in 9 minutes. So yeah, enjoyed those. And then, of course, in 2006, Bryan Singer introduces his version of Superman, Superman Returns, starring Brandon Routh. I was really excited for this one, and I did encourage my dad to actually go to the London IMAX cinema so that we could go and see it. But it wasn't the same experience as being a kid. Unfortunately for my dad, he was, getting knee pain sitting in the chairs, and the sound was really loud. If you remember, in Superman Returns, there's a sequence when he loses his powers and he gets a really vicious beating, and I remember the sound was being so loud in the IMAX cinema, it was really quite unbearable. So yeah, not a brilliant experience watching Superman Returns, although I do like that film. And then, of course, in 2013, Zack Snyder comes to the scene with Man of Steel, starring Henry Cavill as Superman. I was really excited for when that came out. But yeah, again, overall, it wasn't a brilliant experience. There was just too much prolonged fighting with Zod towards the end of that one. So yeah, it wasn't really the most exciting movie for me to watch. But I did stick with it, of course. And then Zack Snyder came out with his version of Justice League, the 4-hour version. So yeah, I have watched that one, and the Batman v Superman movie that he did as well. So those are very much a Zack Snyder style, which isn't entirely for me, but nonetheless I watch those. But yeah, overall, like I say, when I really think about Superman and what I'm excited for in the new Superman is, I guess, yes, I'm still looking for that sort of Christopher Reeve feeling, and I really want Lois Lane to be tough like Margot Kidder was. Now, Rachel Brosnahan is playing Lois Lane, and when I heard that casting, I was really quite excited about that. I think Rachel Brosnahan has been absolutely fantastic in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and she can really give snap dialogue. I think she would be brilliant in a remake of His Girl Friday, actually. Yeah, and so my hopes for her as a Lois Lane character is that she can be that sort of fiery, quick-witted and quick, snappy dialogue kind of Lois Lane, a very tough character. But I'm not sure that is actually going to be the case with this new Superman movie. We will see. I really hope that she is a tough character in this one. David Corenswet as Superman. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of that yet. So far, when I have seen David Corenswet in other movies, he hasn't really stood out to me in what I've seen him in. So yeah, let's just really hope that he's going to be good in the role. And then there seems to be this whole range of other characters that's going to be in the new Superman movie. And again, that's what just makes me question myself in terms of, well, how much of a Superman fan am I? Because some of these characters I'm not sure I really know about. Mr. Terrific, yes, I vaguely remember him, I think, from my comic book days. But the Green Lantern, again, I know of him, but I don't think I've really encountered him in comic books before. And also Hawkgirl as well. I don't really know who she is. So yeah, Crypto as well. Okay, I've come across Crypto just briefly in some comic books, but again, not really a familiar character to me. So yeah, all of that has me a little bit worried, I suppose, in terms of how much I'm going to enjoy this. Is this really going to be a film for me? Does that really matter? I mean, there's so many other fans out there. So this is where I'm just interested to know, in terms of your experience with Superman, just how much of it is it that you're interested in? Are you like me, who really grew up with Christopher Reeve Supermans and and those are the ones that really mean something to you? Or as a Superman fan, have you embraced it all? Have you watched all of it, read all of it, all of that kind of thing? So yeah, let me know in the comments how much of a Superman fan are you? How much are you looking forward to this new Superman? And yeah, let's see how it all works out when it gets released next month. So yeah, I will be seeing it in IMAX. So yeah, looking forward to that experience. I hope it's going to be a good one. Okay, let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks very much for watching this. All the best to you. Bye-bye.